Hello. Before moving on to the demonstration video, I would like to briefly talk about the functionality and operation of my program. I would like to point out a slight change in the program flowchart. The error handler used to correct misspellings of commands. However, now it differentiates between different types of errors and generates different errors accordingly. The rest of the flowchart is the same. Here are all the functions of my program. It can enable and disable all LEDs individually. It can read the status of all buttons. It can get the analog value from potentiometer, LDR, and NTC. It can play a tone of a given frequency for a given duration. And it can enable and disable the heater. Optionally, it can provide different types of feedback to the user when verbose or the debug mode is enabled. Also, it can handle various types of errors. At the top, the structure of a command is given. As you can see, it consists of the type of the command indicated by CMD, the peripheral or the sensor name to be used, indicated by X, and two values Y and Z, all separated by underscores. Optionally, one can activate the verbose mode or the debug mode, which I will be talking about later on. In this slide, you can see examples for all the commands that can be entered to the serial console to control the microcontroller board. Therefore, it will be useful to note these down before trying it out yourself. Please observe that all commands contain CMD and X parameters. However, some of them does not contain Y and Z values. Moreover, some commands only accept a certain range of values. A mode operator can be optionally added to each and every command. This can be done by adding a space and a dash, followed by the initial letter of the mode. An example where the so-called verbose mode is applied to a command is given in this slide. The verbose is indicated with the letter V, and the purpose of it is to give feedback to the user after a command is entered. When the command in the given example is entered, the verbose feedback will tell the user that the buzzer is enabled with 500 Hz for 10 seconds. Naturally, the verbose mode will return nothing for read commands, since the return value of such commands are already a feedback for the user. In addition to the verbose mode, there is the debug mode, which is my contribution to the program. The debug mode can be indicated by the letter D, and it will list the command name, peripheral or the sensor name, and if available, Y and Z values. This helps debug the code and make it easier to add more commands to the program in the future. The program can handle different types of errors. An error message is generated whenever there is an invalid command, an invalid peripheral name, or an out-of-range value. Before moving on to the demonstration, please note the pin connections in case you want to try the program yourself. Now, I will conduct the demonstration of my program. I will enter example codes for all the commands, and I will activate verbose and debug modes for each of them. Finally, I will enter some incorrect commands to show different types of errors. Let's dive right in. In order for the program to work, the line feed option LF should be selected while sending a command. Moreover, new line on line feed should also be selected for the sake of a better interface. Now, I will enter the commands for enabling LED 1 and 4, and after that, I will disable them both. Please observe the verbose and debug mode and see that the order does not matter while activating them. Now I will read the NTC value and then turn on the heater. I will then read the NTC value one more time and disable the heater. You can observe the heater turning on by observing the yellow LED. I'm going to turn on the buzzer with 500 Hz for 5 seconds. Then I will do the same thing for 10 seconds. But this time I will disable it before its duration. Now I will read the LDR value and then I will block the sensor with my finger and read it again. After that, I will read the potentiometer value and then I will turn it and then I will read it again. And now I will read push button 1 and then I will press it and read it again. And finally, I will demonstrate different types of errors. Thank you for watching and have a good one.